Good evening, everyone, and happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's evening, okay? Because we love love. I love love. I'm in love with love, right? So this is a celebration. This is my day. This is a day of love, and it's so you have to be first of all in love with yourself, okay? So anything that you have in your space should indicate that you are in love with yourself, and the more in love you are, the better. Yeah. Juicily in love with you, like in every piece of you. And it is going to work, right? It is going to work on others as well. Because if you hate yourself, you're going to be a fucking hater. And everybody knows that. If you hate yourself, if you hate pieces yourself, if you think that there are things that you are ashamed of, things you are angry with yourself for, things that you are trying to hide from others, things that you are lying to yourself about, or you can't accept about yourself, or you're not happy with yourself for certain things, this is all going to be reflected to you in the external reality, and sooner or later you're going to question yourself, I think, because I mean, some people just fall into pattern of that victimhood, like, oh, they said that, and or they ignored me, and this is so rude and so wrong, or this and that, which I am also guilty of as well every now and again, because I'm like, so rude, and then I say, like, I do the same. So it depended on the situation. But really, if you really like yourself and you feel like you are completely okay with everything that you are, it just makes it so much easier for everybody around you, including, I mean, especially for yourself. Because you, let's face it, you spend 24 hours a day with yourself, and you really want to have a quality of being at the highest level. Because if you feel like you feel light and you feel at your heart like you're content because you are making the right choices every time. So, for example, you're just about to do something and then you just think to yourself, right, is this going to bring me something good? Is this going to bring me something nice for me? Is this choice that I'm about to make, is this going to be progressive, right? Is this going to be getting me closer to the goal? So what I would like to speak to you guys about today is how love and self-love and self-appreciation and self-acceptance relates to the progress in achieving your goals, right? Because everybody's got dreams and everybody's got goals and intentions, and whatever you call them, they are just your little seeds, right? They are the seeds that are grow after a while, they're sprouting. If you have a dream that you want to have you want to have a house in Spain, for example, like I do, and this is it's my dream. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't even care. It's going to happen for me because that's what I want, and I'm deciding that that really moment that I want to have a house in Spain or penthouse in Barcelona. That's my favorite. Like, I want to have a penthouse in Barcelona, and that is my dream. Okay, how it's going to happen for me, fuck knows, but I am just really looking forward to seeing how it's going to unfold for me. And I don't know exactly how it's going to happen, but I know it's possible. I know it. I can believe this, right? Um, but the things that you can dream of, they are smaller, they're bigger, and there you can have as many dreams as you want. Obviously, you can just have not only material things, but it could also be something that you want to be, who you want to be, or the way you want to be, right? Bear with me, I just need to close the door. It was winding me up. The door was open. Oh, looks sexy today. Right. Yeah. Today is the day where you set the intention, because the quicker you set the intention, the better for you. Because this intention, you need to understand that if you have a dream, right? If you don't have a dream, if you have a blank mind when somebody's asking, like, what are you dreaming about, right? Then that means that you don't believe that there is something out there that is, or that either you are good enough for it, or you don't believe that things can happen for you, especially. Or maybe you just think that you are not allowed these things, or maybe you think that everybody else can have it but not you for some reason, right? You have to ditch those little bullshits, because They're really bullshits that are sabotaging you, okay? You, yourself, whoever you are right now, whoever is watching this, you can have anything you want, and you can be whoever you want, and you can do whatever you want, okay? And you are allowed, and this is your given right because you were born on this planet, and just because you are here, this is your right, okay? I mean, just you are here to experience whatever you want, and everything else that you heard from anybody else throughout your life, that you shouldn't be this, or you can only have certain things, or you can only have money when you have a job, or you can earn money when you work hard, or whatever, and all those little bullshits that people tell themselves and each other, right? It's not true. It's just everything can be true for you, and everything that's true for you is what you decide is true for you, okay? So if it's true for you that you're gonna be unlucky on the 13th, or Friday the 13th, you're gonna be unlucky on a Friday the 13th, and then you're gonna look around and think like, why do other people are not unlucky on a Friday the 13th? Because they don't give a shit about what the day of the week it is, right? They just get on with the day, and they don't even think about it. They don't focus about it on it. They don't have the belief in their mind that anything bad can happen to them. They just have a belief that they are fucking lucky every day, right? That's why they are never unlucky, because they have a lucky life. They just think, I'm really lucky. I mean, I'm really blessed. Like, they have the belief that they are blessed. They have a belief that they're happy. They are that they have a positive life, and everything is working out for them, and everything is always going for them in their life, and everything sort of sorts itself out in front of them, and they have full trust of unfolding, and their belief is that they trust their life and its sort of way to present themselves itself in front of them, okay? And that's the beauty of being able to choose your beliefs, right? Because if you believe that I have to work hard, or I'm not good enough, or I can't do it, or there's a lot of competition, or there's not enough money, I don't have time, I'm tired, I don't have motivation, I don't have energy, and so on and so on, then this is exactly what you're gonna get, okay? And plus times 10. Whenever you say something, you get this back times 10, right? So be careful what your seeds are each day, right? And then so that's why I encourage you strongly to get into your mind and just think about what you think on a daily basis. Notice your thoughts, right? Especially when you're talking to people, or like record yourself or write shit down, and then just say, oh my God, I can't believe I believe this, right? Because that is bullshit. And then if this is non-supportive, think, then just cross it out and write the opposite that will support you, okay? Because you can choose whatever. I'm not saying that if you write it down once, it's going to change your belief, because you have to understand that your belief, for your belief to be formed in your mind, you must have been brainwashed in a way, right? For many, many years, until you understood that this is your truth, that this is your belief, that this is something that you believe. And because everything is belief based, you, by believing things, you create in your environment, okay? And now, in order, like, if you are unhappy with your environment, if you're unhappy with the way you are, with who you are, or with the place where you work, with your partner, with your I don't know, job, or any kind of field, friendship, money, business, whatever, if there is something that you are not happy about in those fields, that means that you want to change the belief that you have about this, because you have a belief that has been formed in the past, and it was either formed because of the experience that you had, and or someone passed it on to you, okay? And therefore you started believing certain way, okay? And then all those thoughts that you have, even if they are not true, there is no such thing as truth, okay? There's no such thing as the true thing. Everybody has a different truth, and everybody chooses their own truth, okay? And that is the best thing here for us, because we are born And just because that baby's born, and then they're just like a beautiful, loving little creature that you love as well, unconditionally, you are not going to say like, this child will be unlucky on the 13th of Friday the 13th. I mean, who would even come up with something like that? And so you can put as many spells as you want. I mean, some people call it spells, some people call it intentions, some people call it goals, some people call it dreams. Whatever you say, these are thoughts and beliefs that you are holding in your mind. And the best thing about them is that if you have pleasant sensations in your body, if you have, I mean, I'm not saying that it always happens because life is full of contradictions and you know it. Sometimes, even if you're the most fucking positive person and you just like farting rainbows and unicorns every day, you still can have this moment where you are feeling very heavy, negative. I don't know, you experience resentment, hatred, anger, you're just being misunderstood, or you just don't want to be on this planet and you're just pissed off because I don't know what am I here for anyway, right? But these are just the moments, right? But on the whole, even if you are experiencing something like that, most of the time the person who's awakened and the person who knows what the matrix is all about, they know that this is just that sensation, and they just sort of feel through that sensations, right? And they are handling those energies the best way they can, and sometimes they just get dragged into it or not, but on the whole they just think, right, okay, now I can go back to my positive mindset, and I am still working on my mindset, and I'm still improving and growing and expanding, right? Mind you, now I had a thought, sometimes those states, those negative states, those heavy states, those undesirable or just really, well, they're just part of your life, and they just like growing pains, right? Because you've set an intention, especially it happens to awakened people who already have set a lot of intentions, and they already know what they really want in life, what they expecting from themselves and from the world and from life in general. And once they set the intention for getting them out of the consciousness that are in right now, and they're anchored in some kind of consciousness that I are not happy with, and they already intended on something that they want in the future, right? So the process of them being pushed out of this, that is going to have to, they're going to have to meet with the energy of loss, right? And that is never pleasant, because that is going to make them feel fear, and sometimes resentment, sometimes things that you feel when you lose somebody or something. Because even if you are unhappy in a certain situation, departing with that situation that is not pleasant or undesirable, still means that you have to let go of something, and loss always is connected with some kind of hurt and pain, right? So it's the pain of losing something, it's the pain of growing, it's the pain of just like wearing a new skin on your body, right? A new consciousness, a new new energy, new mindset. Everything that is you're gonna wear is you're gonna have to let go. It's just like you're letting go of old clothes because you've grown out of them, or they're not different, they're just different size, or they just don't suit you anymore, or they get out of fashion, and you just think, I don't need it anymore. But you have some kind of sentimental, they have sentimental value, or you have some kind of sentimental attachment to that item, to that clothing, and you just, for example, you kept it in a wardrobe for like God knows how many years, never worn it, but you still keeping it because it means something to you, and then all of a sudden you say like, that's it, I don't need it anymore, I'm gonna have to let go of it. But it still sort of feels like a little cringy that you give it away, and at this moment when you just go rid of it and pass it on to charity shop or whatever, it just went, yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's just a piece of clothing, and it actually just gives you some sensation that is unpleasant, that you just have to like really let go of a little bit of part of you. So if this is such a difficult thing when it comes to one bloody dress or coat, then think about what it's like when you are letting go that you don't even wear, and that is old or have holes in it or something, right, that you don't really need. The same with energies of you, right? This is exactly the same with energies of you. And if you are letting go of energies that are not suited for you anymore, that you are that not benefiting from anymore, that you are not yourself anymore. You need to grow into somebody completely different. The pain is going to be immense, even if the energy that you are still holding on to is harmful, right? Sometimes it is harmful. It's just not letting you be yourself fully, not letting you be who you want to be or change into who you want to be, because you are holding on to that energy. But letting it go is just by surrendering into that new version that you don't even know yet, right? So it's going to be, so you're going to feel that this process is so slow and so heavy, because you are going into the unknown. It's like I like this analogy of a kid who is going on a big slide for the first time, because that's what happened to my daughter, right? She really was preparing herself mentally for God knows how many weeks when we were going to a playground when she was a bit younger, to go on that big slide that she was always scared of, because it was a tube. She was fully in it. She didn't know what was at the end. She wasn't sure, so she didn't want to go on it. Okay. And so she was always going on a small slide, and the small slide started being too small for her because she was already growing. So it would be good for her to go on it, but she wasn't ready. Yeah. Despite the fact that I tried to encourage and everything, she just didn't want to go, and she would refuse to go. And I knew it was going to be fun for her, but I didn't want to just push her too hard so that she doesn't go like a slight trauma, right? So at the end, when she's decided, when she really wanted, and then obviously when she went down it, it was quite a big slide. So when she ended up on her face, and it hurt her for a little bit, and she cried, right? And she had just, I don't know, sand in her nose, and she wasn't really happy. But when I asked her if it was fun when she was on it, she said that yes, and she wants to try it again. Okay, so her falling on her face into the sand didn't stop her from doing it again. Yeah, I mean, she just asks me if I could be there to assist her when she gets down, so that she doesn't fall on her face, which was obviously a process of learning, which was really exciting, because then I could notice that in her as well, that she would develop that lesson from that experience, right? She learned something from that experience, that somebody has to be there to assist her at the end, so she doesn't fall on her face. And that was that was fantastic thing to see, right? So that's exactly what happens with us. If we have an experience that we are just about to encounter, and we know that we're ready for it, and our heart is telling us that we are ready for something different, that we've grown out of a job, we've grown out of a relationship, we've grown out of a place in where we live, or we've grown out of a family that we are in, because it does sometimes happen that you just feel like you don't belong to your family members, even because you feel misunderstood, and you belong somewhere else. Then it's time for you to go into somewhere, and you know that you're evolving, and you know that you've awakened as well when you follow that voice, when you go for it, right? When you just think to yourself, right, okay, it's time to change something, and I'm just going to change it. So it's going to hurt, it's going to be scary, it's going to be painful, because I'm going to have to let go of a lot of things. I'm going to go into the unknown, but it's better for me than being stuck in one place that I am super unhappy at, and my body aches, and I am so unhappy that to the point where I just really need to just do things to myself to numb that pain, right? That my whole body is telling me, like, can I get out of here? I hate this place, I hate this job, I hate this house, I hate this place, or in general, or whatever, or these, like, I'm not saying people, obviously you don't hate it, but you just feel that this is where you're not belonging, right? And for you to go forward, it just it means that you've evolved, you're awakened, you just need more to experience. And in order to experience more, you need to also go into that process of changing from one place to another, from one person to another, from one job to another. And this transition is going to cost you a little bit of pain, because you're going to grow out of this consciousness where you are belonging into the other. However, it's not going to happen for you if you just only complain and get stuck in that place where you are unhappy in, and you don't intend on anything else for yourself. It's not happening, right? That's why intentions and goals are so important. And intentions and goals, if you do the opposite, well, I do them every day on various things about my life, about my body, about my health, about my family, about my daughter, about the relationship that I have with with people, or like a relationship I'd like in the future, or the place that I want to be, or the job that I want to do, and the money I want to make, or the business I want to grow, the things that I want in my life to happen, right? I just get quite a lot of intentions and goals every day, because I want to keep my focus on it. I want to see this every day in front of me. And after a while, I review those goals. It turns out that some of them they've already happened for me. And yes, I do get quite a lot of moments where I feel a little stuck, or a little scared, or a little panicky, or heavy, and I don't know what's going on. But I understand at the same time that this is the process of change. This is the process of unfolding the things for me. And this is a process of me growing into a person who is ready to change, right? And sometimes, obviously, if you want to have a house, or let's say you don't have any money, and you just only have a part-time or full-time job, and you just sort of make your ends meet, and all of a sudden you just wish you make a wish, and you just say, like, my dream is to have a penthouse in Barcelona. It's not going to happen overnight, right? You're going to have to work for it, and then first you need to believe that it's possible for you. You need to believe that this is something you deserve. You need to also be aware of allowing yourself to go for this dream if you want to have it badly. And then start doing active steps every day towards that goal. And those steps will be sort of you're going to be guided into them by your inner voice, by what can I do today to get myself a little bit closer to that goal, right? And it could be something seemingly unrelated, because it could be like, go and have some rest, for example, or just go for a jog, or just exercise, because you have to listen to this voice, because maybe just because your voice is telling you to have some rest, it's just because you only get good ideas when you get some rest, right? So trust that voice, because that is the best voice out there. It's not going to be like, you're not going to be able to force the knowledge, or find the knowledge. How do I get myself a penthouse in Barcelona, right? You're not going to get that answer from any book, or from any from the internet, or from any source. You just need to follow that knowledge that you have inside of you. And sometimes it seems like it's unrelated, but I guarantee you 100% that this inner voice, that this intuition, it always is right. Okay. And you only can benefit from following it, and you can only benefit from listening to it, because it is always right, and it's always leading you in that direction, right? So sometimes it will be telling you things that are so ridiculous that you're like, oh my god, people gonna think I'm crazy, or oh my god, people gonna think about this. But this is exactly how what happened to me when I started my journey. I also started asking myself questions like, what can I do? What can I do? And it was telling, like, record yourself and publish a blog, or write things about energy, or record yourself and talk about energy. And it was just so cringy for me, because I actually, all I was thinking back then, I was following the voice, but at the same time I was so still trapped in thinking that people gonna judge me and think about me as a weirdo. And now I don't care what people are thinking, because I'm getting closer and closer to being completely myself, and not having to worry about what other people think about me. I'm more worried about what I think about myself on a daily basis. And I like to think about myself in a positive manner, and have positive conversations about myself, and positive beliefs about myself. But it doesn't mean that I don't have a negative talk, right? I have negative talk as well on a daily basis still, about my looks, about my way of being. And it should not be there, in my opinion, because I feel like I would benefit hugely if I hadn't had that negative talk. But this negative talk is still showing me that there is still work to do, and that is perfect, because this is how I grow into a different person. Just picking bit by bit, picking up those little bullshits about me that I have inside of me, and changing them into completely the opposite, right? So these are, I'm not talking only that you want to have a Lamborghini, or you want to have a beautiful house on Maldives or whatever, but sometimes your dream is just to be certain way, right? And my certain way was, for example, peaceful and calm, right? And feeling safe to express myself the way I want to be, or the way I want to express myself. Or, for example, my dream was to feel. Hello.
I need some tiny bags. Do you know where they are?
Tiny bags?
Like really tiny.
They're on the microwave. So it could be, for example,
The yellow ones.
yeah, the yellow ones are. You can use as many as you want because they cat poo bags.
Yeah, that will be good.
You set the intention about yourself, and I think the best thing to do is if you want to start from scratch, if you want to start your journey from scratch, then you put the foundation. You make your soil, you make your foundation, right? If you want to see, if you want new seeds, new life to happen to you, if let's say that every dream, every goal, every intention, every little outcome that you want to have in life is this little seed, yeah. And this is something I recorded myself, and I'm gonna write a blog about it tomorrow. This little seed, if it's put in the sand, right, it's never gonna grow, right? Or it's just gonna sprout because there's gonna be some moisture there, maybe if you water it, but at the end there will be no nourishment for that seed. And if any chance of that plant to grow, it's not going to be strong, it's not going to have flowers, it's not going to have the right conditions to grow in the right way, right? So for us, the soil for our dreams, for our goals, and for our intentions and the things we want in life, and the outcomes and results we are interested in, for us the basis is the soil, and the soil is beliefs about ourselves. So I suggest to everybody who wants to really succeed in life and be building a proper high ethical and an intentional life and purposeful life that is led from soul, right? So my suggestion is to start changing, first picking up on the beliefs that are sabotaging. So asking yourself question, what am I lying to myself about? What am I not seeing about myself? What is negative about me still? What am I still criticizing about myself? What am I judging myself for, or others, right? For example, what am I doing? And work with that shadow of yourself to understand that every human behavior is all right to have, right? That there is no tragedy, that you can relax about everything, that you are a completely safe person to be the way you are, and you can be whoever you want to be and be comfortable with whoever you are and how you express yourself, because this is who you are, because you are so unique and you can be whoever you want and however you want to be, as long as obviously it is aligned with your values. And then that is going to make you feel so much more worthy and valuable, right? And that is a big good nourishment for your seeds. When you don't think of yourself as a person who's unworthy, who is not allowed, or who is just too poor, or who is just too tired, or who's less motivated, or not as good as other people, or not really sure, or too stupid, or so on and so on, and then the fucking list is endless, right? And it's just so boring and it's so untrue, right? Because the only thing that you should think of yourself is that you are fucking amazing, that you deserve every fucking thing in this world, that you can have whatever you want, that you can just that anything is possible for you, that you can have and do and be whoever you want. And that's it, and go for it, right? But in order to build that soil and that compost that is really nourishing, going to nourish your dreams, and it's going to be make your dreams be aligned with who you are, you need to introduce the new mindsets of yourself, about yourself, new mindsets, new ways of thinking about every part of your life. And you are the key to this soil. You are the key to this compost, to this base, to this nourishment of the seeds. Because if you yourself feel like you can't do the things, or you're not allowed to do the things, it's not possible for you to achieve it, or everybody else is better than you, or whatever, even if you are going to try to go for the dreams, you're never going to attain them, because your nourishment is not there. There is so toxic. There is some toxic. There is some toxicity in the soil, and therefore, even if the seed sprouts a little bit, it's still not possible for it to grow into a beautiful, amazing plant, right? Because the dream is not going to be grow into a beautiful, amazing plant. It's not going to materialize itself in reality because you are sabotaging it with the wrong belief about yourself. And that's the story for today. Hello. Okay. So make sure you remember think about yourself as a person who is worthy of always of the things that you want to get, and always think that you and whoever you are and whoever you want to be, if you want to be safe within yourself, if you want to feel rich, you want to feel, because you want to feel rich, you want to feel beautiful, you want to feel amazing, you want to feel attractive, you want to feel sexy, you want to feel loved, you want to feel everything that is that's amazing about you and about the world. If you don't feel any of those things, start intending every day, because they are the seeds. Feeling safe and feeling attractive, or feeling lean in your body, for example, this is also intention. This is also your dream, right? So build the dream according to what you want, what you feel like. What was that I can give you a nice example. I was talking to someone who says that they never dream, that they never dream about anything. They don't really want anything in life. They're happy with what they have. But then 5 seconds later, when we had that conversation, and I was feeling a little bit unsure, because I'm just like, I mean, okay, I don't mind, because I love dreaming, right? But if someone doesn't like dreaming and they just don't think it's necessary for them, then I'm not going to have a discussion with them about this, right? Because there's no point talking about anything, because we're going to disagree. And then, so I just sort of agreed, not agreed, but I was nodding along with the conversation and waiting for it to finish. But after seconds or two, someone's asked me, the same person said, like, how do you stay so skinny? How do you stay so lean? How do you stay so lean in your body? And I just said this and this and this, and they said, like, oh, I wish I could just lose that. So they did have a dream, right? They just didn't want to, they just didn't really want to admit it. Okay, so your dream might be so that you want to have a smaller belly, for example, you want to have a six-pack, or you want to have feel amazing in your body, or whatever. Everything is always about the feeling, because if you want to have a nice small stomach, that means that you are going to want to feel attractive to yourself and feeling good when you look at yourself, and everything is all about your feeling. If you want to have a new car, you're going to feel rich. If you want to have a new house, you want to feel comfortable and safe. If you want to have a partner, you want to feel loved, and all those feelings you can have before you even get these things. So you don't need the things to get you the feelings. You give yourself the feelings, right? By intending on them every day. Okay, and remember about this. And being loved, I think, and safe, and looked after and trusting are the most fundamental sort of intentions and goals that you can go for. So this is it's just a tip. I would start with things like, I trust myself, or trust my choices, I am amazing, I can do whatever, I can afford anything, and stuff like that, because you then build a foundation for yourself to start believing in yourself and your abilities to make your reality, because this is what you create. You create your reality. You have to, do it bravely, and become that person who doesn't stop themselves just because they have a setback or two, right? Because you have to be a bit you have to be persistent with this, right? Because they're always going to, oh, that's great, I'm happy. I don't remember what I was thinking about, but anyway, right, I'm gonna go and have my Valentine's Day beer, which is good and tasty. I'll be burping away. But you remember that intentions are seeds, and your soil needs to be nourished by yourself every day. Okay, self-talk and looking for your beliefs, everything that you believe in, everything that you think about on a daily basis. Pay close attention to it, because that's your nourishment. This is something that is there within your mind. This is determining, this is whatever is within your mind determines what your frequency is, what the frequency of your physical body is, and based on that frequency you also attract things to yourself. So the higher the frequency, the better the things that await you, right? That's why it's so important to take care of yourself holistically, so spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally, and everything that you can give yourself across all those layers that would be nourishing and right choice is something that is going to raise your vibration, right? So you know what you should do. You just need to ask yourself, perhaps the intention, if you wish to change something and really become happy and really become feeling safe, feeling trusting, feeling abundantly looked after, and feeling loved, would be just to start changing your habits into supportive ones, right? And then ditching the non-supportive ones. And it's just the thinking habits, is the eating habits, is the feeling habits, is just the physical habits that you do, like the exercise habits or whatever, the daily habits that you do. Because if you sit on a couch and you want to have a six-pack, but you every time you open a beer and just sit on a sofa like I do today, but I obviously working towards my six-pack, uh, but I wasn't in the past. I wanted to have six-pack, or I just wanted to have a beautiful body, but I was sitting at home and eating crisps at night, right? And now I do allow myself the crisps every now and again, because I know this is not going to prevent my six-pack. However, I know how important it is to build those habits, and they're not going to change overnight. And you obviously have to be very compassionate towards yourself, very patient with yourself, and allow yourself to have this beer and sofa evening, or crisps evening, or late at night fucking eating everything out of your pots evening, because you need to have those days, right? And that's fine. On the whole, if you are suggesting to yourself every day on a daily basis, you're supporting yourself that you're going to eat some raw spinach instead of bread, or lettuce instead of slice of bread, or whatever, and then I'm just saying holistically, right? Change those little habits, and just don't change everything at once, because it's not going to happen for you. First, think about what you want to do, because and why it is important to you. Why is the diet? Why you want to be healthy? Why do you want to be fit? Why do you want to be beautiful? Why you want to be loved by a partner? Why do you want to do the things that you suggest to yourself that you want to do? Why do you want to have the car? Because you need to know exactly how to support yourself, and without that knowledge of your inner self, you're not going to be able to attain your goals, because then the nourishment might have some toxicity that you might know about, and you're going to be failing and hitting your head against the wall every time. Okay, so find out more about yourself by asking yourself questions: why you want things, how you can get them, whether you think it's possible to get them, whether you think that you deserve it. And if any of these answers is no, then just change it, and then start intending on to being worthy of those things, and then take it from there. Okay, right, I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. Take care, and be excited over tomorrow and the next few days of this new week. I love you. Bye.